Hi guys, I've had a few people ask me to do a custodian candy red video, so here's a quick one of how I do it. The colours you're going to need are Vallejo Premium Black Metallic, Gamer Chainmail, Gamer Silver, Tamiya Clear Red, and the final varnish at the end is Liquitex Red Label Satin Varnish. The metallic's going to be done with my Miyawata, and the candy red is going to be done by my Badger. It's got a bigger needle. If you've got a smaller needle size, and this is 0.3, 0.4, you have to thin it a little bit with Tamiya X20A thinner and just do a couple of coats. I'm going to do it in one. So let's get started. So you can I've primed this grey. You can prime it black. It doesn't matter. We're just going to coat this fully, this panel here fully, with the black. So let's get started. Some black in my airbrush. There we go. So just a nice smooth coat all over the panel with the black. So it's hard doing this with the camera in front of you, but we'll give it a go. There you go, so you want all over black. So we'll let that dry for 5 minutes and I'll come back in a minute. Guys, we've got a nice dry, fully metallic black panel. So now we're going to highlight the black with the chainmail. But you can see a line along this panel here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to highlight it in between. Well, we're going to bleed the thing over this line and leave a black line at the top. But we're just going to go down just under it here, so you get a highlight going all the way along the top. If you're using, say, a Telemann, you'd do the same sort of thing, but you'd highlight at the top of the panel and leave the darker area at the bottom and the little line at the top. So we'll do that next. So next colour is chainmail. So I'll get some chainmail in my brush. So like I say, this isn't easy with a camera in front of me, but we'll give it a go. So I always find if you hold it like this so you can see down the panel, you want to start just after the line there. So I ghost it on, so you want to ghost it like this. So like I say, you want it to bleed slightly onto that line so you get like a blend. Or when I'm going to blend it slightly, you want to fit like slightly down there, and then we're going to stop just before the end. So like that. So now you've got a line like this. As you can see, we can go, there's a little bit want to put in there, so we'll add that bit there. So we'll let that dry for a couple of minutes and then we'll come back. Right, now that's dry, so the next colour is going to be silver, but this time, as it curves down here, you want to ghost a tiny bit of silver in this bit as it's curving down, because that's where the light's going to hit it more. So you want to ghost it in just about there. So what we'll do, I'll show you how to do that. There we go, get some silver into my thing. So like I say, you just want it here. So we're just going to, you'll hardly see it really, so you just want to ghost it in just along that edge there. So you can hardly see it on the camera, but there is a reflection there, so I'll just finish off doing that. So you've got this now. Looks a bit, as you can see, you can see the transitions going through it. So we'll let that dry for a few minutes and I'll come back and we'll add the red. Right guys, that's dry. So as you can see, you've got a colour transition going on. So we're going to add the candy red now. So what I'm going to do is dust on the first layer, and then I'm going to put it on in one layer. If you've got a smaller needle size, as I say, you're going to have to thin it with X20A thinner. And you can either do it, you'd have to do it in a couple of coats. I've got a big needle, so I can do it in one. So, but you'll tell when you've got enough on there, because it'll look wet or like glass, and then it'll self-level. So let's get the red on now. Let's See how we're looking. There we go. So we're just going to dust it on first. Oh, getting the camera shot, it'd help. So we're just going to dust it on first, and then we're going to put it on. So we'll start here. So the red's on now, as you can see, it's gone like glass, it looks wet, so we'll let that dry a minute, well wait 10-15 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll add the varnish. We've left the candy red to dry for 10-15 minutes. If it's colder it will take longer to dry. Be careful, because candy is a soft paint, so you can actually put a fingerprinter in it, so be careful. So let it dry thoroughly. I'm doing it quickly, as I say, so just to give you an idea how to do it. So now we're going to put Liquitex varnish on it. We're going to give it a nice wet coat. So we'll do that now, and then we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back at the end and I'll show you how it looks at the end. So we've got some Liquitex varnish in my airbrush. So we want a nice wettish coat on there, so it looks wet. There we go. So now it looks wet again. So we'll come back in 5 minutes when that's dry, and I'll show you how it looks at the end. And then at the end you just mask it off, and then do your gold or black or how you're going to paint it. I might as well show you this while I'm at it here. I use this as a mask. It's called Parafilm. You can buy it on eBay in meters. I'll cut a bit off and show you. So what you do with this is get your panel or whatever you're using here, take the backing film off, so it looks like this. So you pull it to 3 times its size, so pull it each way like this. I know it's out of focus, get it in focus, Moggy. So like this. I can't put it on that panel because it's wet, but it'll stick. The surface tension as you pull it makes it stick. So then if it was a panel, you could get your knife, cut around the panel, that's so, and then this bit pulls off. You leave the panel in the middle. There's no sticky or anything, it just holds on with surface tension, and after you've painted the rest it just peels off. So like I say, we'll come back in a minute and I'll show you how the candy red looks at the end. Right, okay guys, the varnish is dry, and as you can see you've got a nice reflective, so it will change colour in different lights. You've got dark at the bottom, light at the top. So as you can, I've done it really quickly. You can be a lot neater than me. This is just a spare engine pod I had, but that's the general idea how to do it. Hope it helps some of you guys out there, and I'll try and do a black tutorial soon. Cheers guys.